Okay. We are so excited. My team has been talking about this like since I shared about it. So excited. And so thankful that you're here to pour into us because I just know that you are awesome. You're always on your game. You're always on point. So we just hear from you. If you don't know, this is Mariah, and she is a double diamond. I'm going to talk about her story though, and you guys can hear it from her.
Perfect. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me on here. I absolutely love talking, so, prepare to hear a lot out of my mouth. But thank you guys so much for having me. I do want to say, though, because I'm taking time out of my night, like 2 seconds out of your night, and turn your cameras on. It's so much more fun to talk to some beautiful smiling faces than a bunch of pictures and names. So as long as you're not doing something like super weird, I would love if you would turn your camera on. Even if you're doing other stuff, I don't have to see you, but it just, shows a little bit more engagement. So my name is Mariah Newsome. I've been in this business for 15 months. I am double diamond. I joined because I was a newlywed. I had been married, I don't know, a couple months when I joined. And I had this idea that I had to be the perfect wife. And so I had to do the cooking and the cleaning and the errands and all of that kind of stuff. But I was also the only one working at the time. So I was broke and broken. I was so depressed and stressed at all points in times. I felt like I was failing everywhere I looked. And I just knew that there's no way that this is what God intended for me. There's no way that this is what he wanted my life to look like. And I had this amazing dream that one day I'd write a book. Story for another time. I have a really awesome testimony. God's done a lot in my life and brought me through a lot. We grew up in extreme poverty. I grew up going to a food kitchen instead of a grocery store. We knew how to box the cars in so the repo man couldn't get them. We were evicted. We were almost homeless. And so, I knew I'd gone through so much. I knew I had somewhere to go. And so I wanted to write a book one day. That's kind of how all this started. And so I saw this opportunity. I'm one of those like dream DTs. I saw one post, asked a couple questions, and I joined on the spot. So there was no hesitation. And I totally came in with the idea that I'm going to make $1 million. Like, this is what I'm doing with the rest of my life. My plan was to do this, quit my full-time job. My husband's a pilot, so I was going to be able to travel with him, and I could focus on writing. Needless to say, I've not had a chance to write yet, but I wanted a platform, and I thought the book would be that. But this business has been that and more. I get to pour into people like you guys all the time, plus my team, and oh my goodness, you talk about going from this broken shell of a person who was so focused on trying to meet these ideals and become this person to someone who is so confident in themselves, who, oh my goodness, if y'all could have heard the first time I spoke, I was like shaking like this. It was awful, but I can talk in front of people like no problem now. And that's how much growth, and that's just one area. And that's the most beautiful part of this business and my journey with it. Not the promotions, it's not the money, but it's just as a person, what it really has the capacity to do in your life. And so, in the past 15 months, we went from living in a small apartment in a little town in Georgia to me and my husband are both retired full-time. We get to do this as a full-time family with our rescue husky named Nanuka. She is our life. And we were just able to get a gorgeous house on the beach in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So beautiful island life, something that, I didn't grow up going on vacation, so it's more than a dream come true. We've been able to pay off, starting to pay off debt and just creating this life that I never in my wildest dreams fathomed for myself. I knew that if I was going to have money, if I was going to have experiences, that I had to marry someone with money. And I got to be that person instead. Instead of marrying someone with money and possibility, I got to become the person with possibility. And I got to become the person that changed not only my life, but my future kids' life. And then I've inspired both my sister to join this business and change her life. And my mom actually joined Mary Kay, which is a little different, but on the same basis to change her life, all because I decided to say yes one day after one post. So that's kind of a quick version of who I am and how I got here.
I love all of that so much. Some of my favorite things that you said were you started right on the spot. That's basically what I did. I followed my girl for a little bit, but like as soon as I talked to her, I signed up. So I love that you said that. The next thing I love that you said was it's all about growth. I think someone else said that this business is basically like a self-help course. And I love that because like, if you're spending time growing yourself and growing your mind, then you're going to grow your business too, which I just love. So I kind of wanted to just get into some questions that my team had, and kind of that like I threw in as well. But just for starters, you know, for someone who is new, what would you say to them as far as like what's helpful in getting customers? And when would you say when you started was when you first started to see your first couple of customers and like the consistency in it too?
Okay, so I'm going to answer the second part of that first, because that was my favorite question you asked, period, was how I got started and when I started seeing customers. And I love that so much is because it doesn't matter. Like, when I signed my first customer has nothing to do with your story and your journey. You know, I may have signed a customer ASAP, but, you know, it doesn't matter. For me personally, because it was asked, you know, I signed my first customer on day 2. I went Ruby in my first 30 days, Emerald month 3, Diamond month 6, and then Double in month 8. But that's not going to change where you're at. You know, I love to look at other top leaders and their stories as well. Jocelyn Yates, Ambassador Diamond, it took her almost 7 months to go Ruby. Cami Pentecost, our CEO's daughter, it took her almost 6 months to sign her first distributor. Both Brittany Hayes and Kelsey Thornton sat at Triple for 18 months. Her went Diamond in 30 days. But you look up to all of these people the same. So my biggest tip when you're asking and you're looking and wondering what it is and how people have those enrollments and how quickly would be to instead look at you. You don't have to be better than me. You don't have to be better than Brittany. You don't have to be better than anyone other than the person you were yesterday. So if you didn't get an enrollment yesterday, then get one today and you're already winning. You're already changing the game and you're already changing your life. And that's all it is. It's one day in front of the next. Keep your eyes focused on you. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. And if you're looking left and right and you're so, you know, you're focused on what other people are doing and how they're going, you're going to hit a standstill. I was watching a Zoom, I can't remember with who, but one of the top leaders, and she was talking about there was this girl that she joined with around the same time, and she would stalk her page. She's like, oh my gosh, she went Ruby in her first month, and I can't even get a customer. And oh my goodness, month 2, like, he's doing awesome, and I'm sucking. So she blocked this girl. Okay? 4 months later, she had gone Diamond, so she unblocked her to go look at this girl, and she'd quit the business. If she would have been watching her journey, she would have stopped too, because this that she was looking up to was like, not for me. But because she focused on her mission, she focused on her journey, on her day, on what life she's changing and impacting, she was able to go Diamond and Double and Triple and Prez and Ambassador and keep going because she knew what to look at. So my biggest tip there is just focus on you. You have everything it takes. There's nothing different between me and you. There's nothing that's inside Stephanie Dunn that's not already inside of you. You just have to learn how to grow it, to capitalize on it, to become that better version of you. And as you do that, your business is going to grow with you. And as more for the practical side of how to get customers, I swear by Host to Post. Like, that's my bread and butter. That's how I get my customers as well as my distributors. From the get-go, I think it's really easy as a leader. And, you know, if you have a single distributor, you're a leader. So just like step up and own that, take responsibility. As a leader, I think it's really easy to kind of buttercoat stuff and not give it straight and raw with our new distributors because we're scared to scare them away. And so with me though, guys, from the get-go, I went Ruby by getting 10 Host to Post a day in my first 30 days. And that was because, my upline didn't tell me to, but it was because I saw that and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go out and do. So don't be scared if you know something works and it works in massive volume. Don't be scared to share that. But my goal with Host to Post is to average for a month 10 Host to Post a day. Guys, we're not always going to be on point. Like, not every day is going to be our ideal day, and not every day are you going to be on top of it. But if you can average that. So if today I get 2 Host to Post, I know tomorrow I need to get at least 15 to start counteracting. If I get 20 today, well, I'm not going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to keep pushing. But if I have a bad day, I have that cushion. So if there's a 30-day month at the end of it, I'll have at least 300 Host to Post up. And that's been consistent for the most part since I started this business. And I think that has been my driving force because I'm constantly, I grew my network super fast. And I grew it super intentionally because the people what I was adding wanted the products. So that was already a bonus. And then Now my cold market, my posting and that kind of stuff was getting more interaction because I was bringing in people who already wanted this, who already wanted the opportunity. And then with distributors, like, girl, I'm telling you, you get 3 comments on a post, I'm in your inbox like, excuse me, do you want me to make money for you? Or like, do you want this? Because look at this, you have the market. And I sign distributors all the time just by being real. Like, I will help you close on the customers on this post if we sign you right now. And that's huge. Another thing, when you first get started, you have no excuse to not try products. You literally are gifted some in your starter kit. When your starter kit arrives, the first thing you do is go put on your cute face, go put on a cute shirt, find some good lighting, and take pictures. If you post a picture of a product with your face in it, you are way more likely to get interaction and a sale. In addition, like, I'm not even kidding, you get what, like 7 green samples? I'm telling you, 7 days, you are putting on a different shirt and you are making your greens in a video. Now you're gonna cycle through those every, so often. Like, take pictures too. Like, take pictures of it. And then you can make freaking stories for weeks off of your 7 days of samples. You just gotta get smart about it. But when people see you using the products, that's what's gonna bring them in. You joined this business, and I get it. You joined the business because you don't have money, but there's still gotta be a level of investing in yourself. When I got started, I, from the get-go, understood the idea and the confidence that comes with trying products, but I had no money. I joined because I had no money. So I bought a bottle of Fat Fighters, which, if you know, those are not meant to get you massive results. They're kind of like a weight management. But y'all, I'm telling, I went live almost every day. I only did 15-day challenge too because my husband wanted to try it. For 15 days talking about these Fat Fighters. For 15 days consistently, I posted my before and my day 1, my before and my day 2 in my stories for 15 days. I think I went Ruby almost on Fat Fighters alone. And there was not a lot of results there, like maybe 4 pounds. But it was because I was loud. I had confidence. I was talking about them. To this day, I can't think of who said it, but someone said at conference that after conference, that if you post about one product in your story consistently for 3 or more months, you will automatically start like attracting people for that product and selling that product. So I've been posting. Keto coffee is like my favorite. I drink that every single day. I can't live without it. So I started posting about keto coffee in my stories every single day. Guess what I sell a dang lot of? Keto coffee. It's because people trust me. There's a different level of when I'm talking to someone and I'm like, try our keto coffee. Look at this girl named Amber's results. Versus when I'm like, dude, this coffee is going to change your life. Like, here's what it does. Look at my results. This is what happened to me. Like, you're going to be obsessed. Trust me, I am too. I know it. And when you can try the products and you guys get some, you get keto coffee, you get wraps. Wraps, guys. Lord Jesus, wraps are the most amazing thing this company has given us in every facet. One, near instant results. You're trying the samples, you're not really going to get the same results. A wrap, you got 45 minutes, you got a results testimony. You can 45 minutes later, you have pictures that you can submit to corporate and get approved. You are corporate approved in like 45 minutes. Why are you not wrapping? Why do you have wraps sitting in the closet you haven't opened yet? You need to be wrapping. And also, wraps are the most easy upsell to a distributor. Think of it this way. When you post about wraps, you do your wraps, people are interested. Okay? Before we talk wholesale customer, just be like, yeah, you can get 4 wraps for $99. Or we can get you started as a business partner for the same $99. You're going to get 2 wraps, and I'm going to throw in a bunch of other samples as well. You make money and get a $100 shopping spree to get more wraps. It's the same price. If they don't want that, then we go, okay, or we can get you started as a wholesale customer. But wraps are amazing, and you get 2 in your kit. So we definitely got to be milking that. I think that's all I got for that.
Perfect. I love all of it. I also love that, you guys, if you're not picking up, she's talking about how to use host to post and upselling for distributors. So a lot of you guys come to me and you're like, I don't know how to sign distributors. I can sign customers, blah, blah, blah. This is how you do it. You talk to people who are hosting for you. You talk to people who are interested in the wraps, like she said, and you bring up opportunity because it's amazing. Like, look at how many lives it's changed. Why would you not want to share it? So I love that.
Going off of that, when I go over pricing for any product, I only give them 2 options. One, Option one, we can get you started as a 90-day products model. You're going to try this for, 30 hairs and nails. It's $33 each month for 3 months. I'm going to give you, my discount for life. I'm going to waive all fees. You're going to get some awesome perks. Or two, we can get you started as a rep. You're going to get to try this product, plus you're going to get to make money while doing it and get the same perks and discounts and $100 shopping spree. Guys, everyone wants to do both. They just don't know the options there. If you're not telling them, you're robbing them of their opportunity. So we got to figure out any and every way to mention this business.
I love that. Excuse me while I write it down. That is so good.
Oh, and I was talking to my girls about this the other day. We all, like leaders, and don't think it's just you when you are coming to your leader not knowing how to sign distributors or having these fears. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. Stephanie Dunn faces those things. I literally had like a temper tantrum the other day, and I messaged my friend and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where do I find potential distributors? Like, where do they come from? Like, I've been milking a potential list I have for so long and it's not getting me anywhere. So I wanted to start over, but I'm like, I don't know where do you find potential distributors? Like, we all face it. The difference between a top leader and people who are unsuccessful is a top leader not only comes to you with a question, but a solution. You figure it out. So.
Yes, love it. Okay, so I know that we were talking about, people who were new. So when you're new and you've been in for a while, we usually have some people who are negative, whether that's about products, the business, whatever it may be. What do you say to people who are facing that? Like, what would your advice be? And like, how would you handle that with them?
I'm very straightforward. I'm across the board. There's only one option in this situation, and it's to do nothing. Like, if you respond in the slightest, you're letting them win. Like, who cares if they think it's a pyramid scheme? It's not going to affect me what your mother's aunt's cousin's best friend told you. I don't care. If you got an issue, then you're not my person. Like, I don't got time for it. If I'm getting a negative message, like, about the products, I block instantly. I'm not even going to fully read the thing because I'm on such a higher level than you that I don't have time for it. There's no time for me to stoop down and sit here with you because you're broken and you're trying to break other people, and I don't have time. I know where I'm going, and I'm going up. And I know there's 1,000,002 people out there who need my products. I've seen how they change people's lives. I've seen how this business has changed my lives and other people's lives. I don't need you. I don't need your negativity. And I think that just kind of comes with confidence. You've got to have confidence in yourself. You've got to have confidence in the products, and you've got to have confidence in the business. And if you're lacking confidence in one of those areas, the things that are said to you, you're going to take more personally. And I'm not invincible by any means. I get some purple things that'll shut me down for like days. But the thing is the quicker you are to just like cut it off. Like, I'm not reading this. I'm not giving you the time of day. If it's on a host to post and no one else has commented, you best believe I'm just going to like delete the host to post. Like, I'm not even going to go check. If someone else comments, sorry, like, I don't got time for it. Like, I don't have time for negativity because I know where I'm going, and negativity is going to slow me down. So I just leave it behind.
Literally, your time is way more valuable. So, amen. So also, I know we start off with a certain type of list.
Someone's unmuted, and I can kind of barely hear you.
1 second. Oh, okay.
Okay, better.
Okay, think we got it.
Perfect.
So when we're new, we typically start off with like a certain type of list. So how has that evolved now? And like, if you were starting over again, what would you have done more or differently?
Okay, so when I got started, I adopted someone else's list. I didn't know what I was doing. And so, over time, naturally, it is going to evolve because I'm going to figure out what's going to work for me. And what may be super awesome for you and may take you to the top in like 2 days may completely handicap me, may completely set me back. And so I was, I went Ruby in 30 days, but I lost it the next month. And it was because I was trying to live out someone else's plan. And their plan wasn't working for me. And so I had to develop my own. So when I got started, I did like your standard 6 list or 5 list, well, I would say 5 because I did not do personal development. I thought personal development was stupid, and I thought I was an awesome person. So but we'll come back to that. I was posting 3 times a day at least. I was posting almost 6 times a day. I was posting in my stories. I was going live. I was growing my network. I was using the products. I was interacting. I was doing all the things. But I think the most it's evolved is through the personal development, 100%. Personal development is my life source, and it's all I want to talk about, because it's like you were saying, like, we are in a business that is a comp plan associated to a personal growth track. Like, that's what we're here for. And you hear it all the time. And let me just say, guys, success leaves clues. So when you hear something said more than once from more than one different person, you may want to put value in it, because it probably means something. So I'll say what everybody else says is, without personal development, your business will not grow. Your business cannot grow outside your mindset. And I wish I would have taken that more seriously sooner, because I would have gone so much faster, or so much farther faster. The way I like to explain it, to kind of explain why it's important, is up till the point you join this business, you're an employee. An employee shows up to work, they do what they got to do, enough to not get fired, and then they go home. But the day you start this business, you become a CEO. A CEO shows up early, stays late. A CEO takes work home. A CEO does the best they possibly can, because their name is on that company. And you're not going to go to bed an employee and wake up a CEO. You have to grow into that person. You have to grow into the person capable of that. And that's why we do personal development. And I also think it's important to know that personal development is not just like one area. It's a huge gamut of things. There's so much that goes into it. You know, I am huge now, not before, because I thought that was stupid, but I am huge on affirmations. I got really big into writing things that like really mattered to me. I don't have my list. I was going to go over it, but I don't do like the stupid things. You don't got to do like, I'm beautiful, I am smart. Like, I mean, you can go for that. That's fine. But you got to get more real with yourself. Like, what do you want? Like, I attract money every time I turn around. Like, God will bless the work of my hands. You know, the things I want me. I attract success. I attract the people who are going to join this business and go off instantly. Like, super intentional in what you're wanting. And then don't just write it. Say it out loud. Because there's one thing when you write something down. When it comes out your mouth, it then goes in your ears and into your brain. That's a whole nother level. So I think affirmations are huge. I think journaling is amazing. I hop on a journaling Zoom with Cheyenne Knox every morning, and Lord Jesus, it's life-changing. Literally just taking your thoughts, your goals, your dreams, and putting them onto a piece of paper, because you can say whatever you want, but when you put it on paper, it becomes real. It becomes tangible. It's something that you can literally hold. And there's so much more value in getting crystal clear about what you want, why you want it, what your fears are, what's holding you back, what you're going to do to break through that. And, you know, so journaling is huge. I think podcasts are amazing. You literally, it's almost like sitting down in a room with someone who's like successful and like just listening to what they have to say. Like, I don't even have to talk in the conversation, because I probably wouldn't anyway. I'd just be like, oh my gosh, just keep speaking. Like, let me just listen. And that's all a podcast is you're learning to grow in so many different ways through that. You know, YouTube videos are great. Like those little motivational videos. My favorite is Eric Thompson. That's amazing, because, you know, we're not always going to feel like it. And that's a really quick fix for that. You know, it's like a real quick, like little, you know, hit on the tush, like, okay, go do something, feel good, like feel pumped up, listen to some Tony Robbins, it's cool, and go do something. You know, books are amazing, because books are going to grow your mind. You're going to get ideas, philosophies, understandings you never had before. If you've not read Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, you're going to get it tonight. Like, no, non-negotiable. You're going to get it when we get off. You can literally download Audible if you've never had an account, get one book free, and you're going to go get that book, because it will change your life. Enter like ad for that, whatever. But books are huge, because you're going to get so much knowledge from it. But you've got to have all of those and not just one. You have to have the growth from all different angles. And then in addition to just personal growth, you've got to have business development as well. Because if you're just growing your personal development, I mean, that's awesome. You're going to be like a boss ass person. Like, you're going to rock it. But your business is still only going to go so far. So business development is just as important. That's one thing I had from the get-go. I joined like 2 days after my upline. So she didn't know anything I didn't know. I would ask her questions, and there was like a pause between her getting back to me. And I was like, there's definitely someone else in the middle of this. So I went and researched who her upline must be and reached out to her. And I was like, look, I'm not doing this middleman stuff. Like, you're dealing with me now. So, but even then, I didn't get her learning style. I didn't get what she did. Her 6 list wasn't really working for me. She's more like, she's just a different leader, and it's not the way I understood. So I went to YouTube, and I found a leader that I understood. I found a leader that when she spoke, it sounded like my thoughts. And that's why I went so quickly, is because I had someone speaking my language. And the truth of the matter is, your leader is never going to 100% teach you and train you the way you want. So you have to do business development. You have to go out and find other sources. And then you have to continue, because the world is always changing. Social media is always changing. Strategies and what's working is always changing. So by doing business development, you really get to develop your own style. Guys, there's 1.2 million of amazing It Works people on YouTube, including me. So if you need someone to follow on YouTube, you can come follow me. But there's so much amazingness on there. And the more you watch and the more you learn, the more you're going to develop your own style. Because, no, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. But you can take half of this script, a third of this script, and a third of this script, and put it together, and now you have your own style. You have something that's going to work from you, and you would not be able to do that if you were only following your leader. Like, and there's nothing wrong with your leaders. Like, we all are awesome leaders, but you've got to have the influence from other places as well. I think that answers your question.
No, that's perfect. I love everything that you're saying, and you're so right. Like, we truly have so many resources available, and I did the same thing when I started to kind of figure out, after personal development, of course, what I was doing. Like, I did a lot of YouTube, and I watched other people, and I, like you said, I kind of pieced things together and like figured out exactly how I wanted to word things and all of that. So I love that you're saying all this stuff. It's so perfect. So let's see. Okay, so now you said that your list has kind of evolved. So how do you manage it now, as far as like time and time management, and just like, what do your days look like now?
So I think it's really important, especially as you grow in this business, because as you grow, you are going to get a bigger team. And I think it's really important to remember the third rule, okay? You spend your time, whatever time you devote to your business, you spend it in thirds. 1/3 of all the time you spend should be dedicated to your team, helping them chart, sending them scripts, doing a training, whatever it may be. 1/3 of your time is dedicated to that. 1/3 of your time is dedicated to your potentials, your current potentials, because the follow-up is where everything comes together. So we still got to be pouring into those potentials no matter what. And then the other 1/3 of your time has to be spent on bringing in new potentials, because if you're working with the same potential list, you only can go as far as that list will take you. So you've got to constantly be bringing in new people. So I think that's the biggest thing with time management, is really just learning how to break that down as you're going through your day. And there's always days, especially as you become a leader, where like, especially if you love leadership, and leadership is like my favorite thing. I could talk about leadership nonstop, because that's like, I just love leading people. I love influencing people. And it's really easy for me to step into manager mode. It's really easy for me to step back and then just want to train and teach and interact. But when you do that, your business is going to fail. So the majority of your day still has to be spent on you, and you just have to work time in for your team as well. And I think it's really important to know who you are. Like, I'm not a schedule person. Like, I wanted to be a teacher because then I was like, yeah, I'm on a schedule, but like every day is different. Like, I'm not like I will do this at 8 o'clock, this at 9 o'clock, this at 10:30. Like, I can't do that. That will make me go like certifiable. Like, I can't. But at the same time, you've got to have structure. So I think it's really important. I have like a fluid schedule, is what I like to call it. I have my things. I even have the order of some things I want to do them in, but there's no time associated. Like, I think it's so important to get your mind right before you try to attack your business. When I go to bed, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I do not take it off Do Not Disturb until after I've done my personal development. And I think it's so important, because if you're not pouring into yourself first, you're going to pour from an empty cup. So no matter how much effort and how many messages you're sending out, your heart and soul will not be in it. You can't. You don't have anything to give. So I think it's so important to, regardless of your schedule, start your day with personal development. Now, what my personal development is going to vary day to day. Like if I'm traveling, I may just listen to a podcast while I'm in the car. Like that may be all I can do. When I'm at home in my office, my ideal situation is I get up and I drink my coffee and I watch a sermon, and then I do my personal journaling with like writing my affirmations, that kind of thing. I listen to 30 minutes of a book, and then I hop on a journaling Zoom and journal some more. So all in all, I'm spending like 3 hours in personal development on my like ideal day before I touch my phone. When I got started, I got really torn because I'm not a morning person, and I heard a video with Steve Harvey talking about like you'll never see successful people sleep in, and it like rocked me, and I was so devastated by this idea because I like to sleep. I'm not a night owl, and I'm also not a morning person. I need 12 hours of sleep to function. Like, okay. So I took it personally, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be successful, but like I don't know. So I tried the whole getting up early thing, and I was up super early, and I was miserable. My business was falling apart because I was so tired. I couldn't like keep focused. And then I was on a training with Ashley Mayfield, and she said she, at the time, you know, is when I was still new in the business, and she said she didn't start her business day until 10. She would get up, she would get ready, she would do her personal development, whatever it was, get the kids ready, and then 10's when she started her business day. And that idea I just love. And I was like, I can do that. So I start my business day at 10:30 because that's when my Zoom ends. But up until that point, it's really me time. And so whether that is doing my personal development, if I'm traveling a lot, you know, part of my morning may just be sleeping in because we have the freedom to write that. And, you know, maybe it's just watching a podcast for personal development, but I always start my day with personal development. From there, I typically just kind of catch up. I will catch up on my notifications. I'll throw up a quote. I always post a quote in the morning. I'll catch up on my messages. I will follow up with my hot list. So the concept of a hot list has changed my business. So every follow-up you have will fall into 3 categories. One, which will be hot, one will be lukewarm, one will be cold. So your hot list, those are people who give you a date that they want to order and that date has come, or they're like ready to order now. Your warm list is people who are still carrying on a conversation with you, but are not yet like pulling the trigger. And your cold list is those people who just want to leave you on red. Your hot list, you're going to follow up with that dang list every single day until they buy, block you, or give you a new date. Then you'll start over when that date happens. But you're going to follow up every single day. And be creative. You ain't got to message you every day like, are you ready to buy? Are you ready to do this? Like, literally, you can follow up by just going to their page and commenting on their photos. Like, oh my gosh, your dog is adorable. You're staying in their mind every single day. Your warm list, you follow up about bi-weekly. And then your cold list, it's like once a month, once every 6 weeks. So in the mornings, I always follow up with my hot list. I'm going to go ahead and get those ones out there because it's more tedious, and I don't really like tedious. So I just want to get it out of the way. From there, I kind of will like, it depends on the day. Sometimes I'll message, sometimes I'll go live and do a training, sometimes I'll read more, like, I don't know, around 1 or 2 almost every day. I do a power hour. I like midday power hours because at that point, it's all like business. Like if you're hopping on a power hour with me at like midday, like we're not following people, we're not like posting, like we literally are going to message for an hour straight. Like I'll give you scripts and prompts, but for an hour straight, we are doing straight work. And so I love doing that in the middle of the day because one, you know, that gives me now the rest of the day because I'm done with that by 2 or 3, that I'm going to be reaping the benefits of all that work. And I've done most of my work. So the rest of the day is kind of mine. About 3 or 4, I'll go to the gym. I like to go then because there's not as many people. And then from there, it's just kind of whatever I have left. I do lots of trainings at night. Anytime I'm working, I will have either a training, a sermon, or a podcast on the background because I'm bringing it in by osmosis. I may not be paying attention, but I'm going to hear something I'm going to remember. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's how my days pretty much look.
Perfect. I love that you said too that, you know, they don't always look the same, and that's okay. We kind of know though what the income producing activities are. So, I mean, if you do nothing else, like that's what you should be doing. So I love that you mentioned that, but really quickly, and this is not in a question that I sent you, so I'm totally sorry if I throw you off, but you said, you know, part of your time needs to be spent with your team and helping them chart. So how important do you think charting
if you don't have a chart, you're not going to go anywhere. Like, legitimately. If you're going to hop in the car and you're like, I'm going to California, but I'm not taking a map, like, you're not going to end up in California. Sorry. If you want to go Ruby and you don't have a chart, like, how are you going to get there? You don't know what it takes. Charts are your life source. I keep one literally, like, in front of me at all times. Like, this is as important to your life as oxygen. If it is promotion month, this thing does not leave your side. I'll even draw 2 charts a month. Like, if I'm really pushing for promotion, I'll have 2 charts. One is in my notebook. It's like the pretty one. The other one stays in my purse. If I'm out and I'm doing something and my team enrolls a customer, I need to know on the spot where they need to move them. Like, your chart is your life source. That is what is going to propel you in this business. That is what is going to help you promote. You can say you want to go Ruby, you can want to go Emerald, you want to go Diamond, all you want. If you don't have the chart in front of you, I don't believe you.
Amen. Love it. Okay. So as far as daily tasks, you know, the things that you're constantly doing, how many people do you think that you're talking to daily? Like, what do your messages look like? Do you message for like product models, distributors? How do you go about that?
So as for quantity, it's as many as I can talk to. Like, it's going to look different. You know, it's the same with the fluidity. It's going to look different each day, but it's as many as I can possibly talk to. We are currently in my parents' house. My husband is working with my dad. So I literally just sit at home all day. So literally the past like 3 days, I've probably started or sent out close to 700 messages a day because I have time. And you know what? 4 days from now, I may not have time. I may only be able to get out 2 messages. So when I have the time, you best believe I am busting my tail, getting out as many messages as I physically can, and social media will let me. You know, it doesn't matter necessarily. You don't need to have a goal. Like, if you're working to, I'm going to message 10 people, or I'm going to message, 20 people and ask them for host to post. Like, no, wrong goal. How many host to post you want up? You want up 10? Okay, you're going to message until you get 10 host to post up. If you're putting a limit on the work, you're not going to reach the goals. You got to put the limit on the goals. You set the bar with the goal, and then you do whatever on the world it takes to then hit that. As for messaging, I do have a couple of scripts I'm going to throw in the comments for you guys. I do not message for product testers at all. I don't really like cold messaging too much. I sure as heck am not going to waste my time on products, because the truth of the matter is you are going to build your business 10 times faster with distributors than customers. Like, yes, a 30 BV customer would be nice, but if you upgrade them to a distributor and they get 4 30 BV customers and get their shopping spree, holy cow, way more. So you always want to focus on distributors. Customers will come. We want to train to enroll customers, but at the end of the day, you always will choose a distributor over the customer. So if I'm messaging, if I'm taking my time to do that, then it's definitely for distributors. So this is the only like cold message I use. And I send it all in one message, and it's super, like, it takes the elephant out of the room, and it's just, hey girl, quick question. Do you happen to know anyone who'd be interested in making an extra income from social media? I'm expanding my business to your area, and I thought I would ask you first. So 9 times out of 10, they either say no, or they say that they are interested. But you're not putting any pressure on them at all, because you're asking if they know someone. So you're going to get a lot better responses. You're not really going to have the same kind of negativity, I have learned. The next message that I kind of cold message, if I can get my computer to work, I'll share it, is again for distributors. So this one's geared more towards our team. We do, for host to post, we do a $300 cash giveaway each month. So that's included in the script. So just if you don't do that, take that part out. But when they post for us, whoever posts last month, I'm going to message this month. And this is what I'm going to send them. I'm so excited. I know it's so exciting to have a chance to win $300. But wouldn't it be nice to get $300 or more every month for doing the same exact thing? No competition, no hoping your name gets drawn, but a chance to earn it each month just by posting on social media. Then you wouldn't have to worry about, something that we may have said in conversation, or I'll just skip to, would you be open to hearing more information? And oh my gosh. So this is something new I tried this month during my panic attack of like, where do I find new potential distributors? I don't know. So I started doing this, and I sat down. It took me 2.5 hours because I do crazy amounts of host to post to message last month's people. So I sent out about 500 messages. Within like 2 hours, I had over 100 new people that I was talking to about the business that I never spoke to about the business before. Like, I mean, obviously they're not all going to sign, but that's 100 new conversations with people who I've never spoke to about this opportunity just because I took my time to ask. At the end of the day, it's always going to come down to the ask. And then I learned this on a Zoom, changed my life. I do not message for host to post at all, which is a very new thing for me. One, host to post has always grown my business, so I 100% see the value in it. But it's like my least favorite thing to do. I do not want to sit there and send out 30 messages to get 2 posts up. Like, I have better things to do with my time, but I know it matters. So I had to figure out a new way to do this that is going to get the host to post up without taking my time. So like I said, we do a giveaway. So once a week, I post about the giveaway on my page. That's going to get the ball rolling. So I message those people, get them entered, they go post for me. 2 days later, I'm going to send them this. And it just, I think it sent. Oh no, I copied the same thing again. Yeah, I did. Well, that wasn't right. I'm going to send this. False alarm. Okay, there we go. Okay, and it's just offering them a second chance to get into my drawing by posting about my drawing. So they're literally just saying, hey girl, would you like a second entry into my cash giveaway? Just post and tag me in this. Hey everyone, my friend Mariah is giving away $300 cash this month to bless a family. No purchase necessary. Comment an emoji for entry and watch your inbox for a confirmation message. Guys, I'll get hundreds of comments, and I'll have like 10, 15 people post this for me. Like, I don't gotta go message anybody. I already got people coming to me. They're coming to me to get in my drawing. Oh my gosh, it's so much nicer. I'm not wasting my time. If I'm gonna message for host to post, I'll go to one of these posts. I'll go through and I'll message those people. And then I'll go on with my day. And I'm ready to message for host to post, I'll go to another one. And I'll message those people. And then guess what? They're gonna post about the products. And then guess what? In 2 days, I'm gonna send them that. And they're gonna post about the business, or about the drawing. And then their friends are gonna comment. And I'm going to get them to post about the drawing. And then in 2 days, I'm going to get them to post, you know? And it's just a constant cycle. It's this revolving door where I'm getting insane amounts of post to post. There's very rarely a day that I don't get at least 10 up, even if I'm not really working that day. Even if it's a day that I've got stuff going on and I'm kind of like all over the place. It's so organic and it's so easy that I'm still getting massive amounts up. And I'm only having to do half the workload at this point. Like, that's a huge tip. Make sure you write that down, because guys, that is just going to make your life so much easier. And if you're not doing a drawing, then offer samples. Like, people still want samples. Like, we forget that sometimes. We forget it's that easy. You know, my friend is going to give away some free keto coffee samples. You know, comment below to figure out how. Boom. Now people are interested in getting your free samples. So it definitely, like, you can fit that into any system you guys are working.
Yeah, so anytime that you message or that someone does a host to post, you always message them 2 days later and do this. I love that. I love that you like have a timeline on it too, because I feel like you said, that makes it super organic. So, oh my gosh, I'm loving everything that you're saying. I hope that everybody is taking notes, because I seriously have like a whole page. But I know that a lot of people on here are working to promote. So what would you say is your biggest tip for promoting?
First and foremost, stop saying that you want to promote. Stop saying that you want to go diamond, that you want to go ruby, that you want to go emerald, you want to go double, you want to go triple. Stop saying that. You don't want to do it, you're going to do it. And you're going to do whatever it takes to do it. If you're just wanting and wishing, you're only going to get so far. You have to, without a shadow of a doubt, commit and decide. I'm doing this. Like, I know it sounds corny, but diamond or die, as Cheyenne Knox says all the time. Like, emerald or die. There's no other option. That's the first step. Because if you're just wanting to, you're not going to hit it. You're going to find an excuse. I was pushing diamond from November through January. Every month I was treating it like a promotion month. Like, I was working like it was a promotion month. But every month I had this little voice in the back of my head saying, well, my emerald check really isn't that bad. Like, it really isn't that bad. So when it got down to the wire and I'm still like 3,000 BB away and there's 3 days left, I'm like, you know what? I'll get them next month. You know, my emerald check's not that bad. And it was because I was wishing for it. I was wanting it, but it wasn't like ingrained in me that I had no other option. January hit, and it was conference month. And my ego took over. I'm very red, and I'm very like huge on recognition, and like I want to be making it, and I want people to know who I am. And I'm like, nobody cares about a freaking emerald. You're not anybody until you hit a diamond. Like, you know, they're not going to know me. I'm going to walk in there and they'll be like, this little emerald, like, I don't know her. Who is she? So I was like, I got to show up like a diamond. I got to be a diamond. And, you know, that's just how my little brain works. And so I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Like, that was my moment. I'm going to be diamond. And so we head to conference. And so it's like 3 days before the end of the month. And I'm 3,000 BV away from diamond again. I did not have a single person working on my chart going diamond, 3,000 BV away. And so I was done, because it's easy to throw in the towel. And especially if you have quitting in the back of your mind, even not like quitting the business, but quitting your goal, you're always going to take it because it's the easiest route. So we're heading to conference, and we drove to Tampa from Georgia. So it's like a 9-hour drive, and I'm trying to work, but I've been in the car all day. I'm tired. I want to do this. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this. And so I told my friend, and I was like, look, I just can't do this. Like, you know, I'm 3,000 away. I'm doing this by myself. Like, that's ridiculous and impossible. And she's looked over, and she looked at me, and she's like, you're doing this. Like, suck it up. Like, get over yourself. Go freaking diamond. I was like, okay. And so I just got back in, and I brought in 3,000 in volume almost by myself in 3 days. Like, literally, I got to be in the huddle opening night at conference, and I sat there and I missed the whole freaking thing because I was like in my notebook and phone the whole time. I enrolled almost 700 BV and during the first session of conference. And that was because I decided I would do whatever it took. You know, and then I because I needed the recognition, I took some like duct tape and wrote out diamond and taped it to my bracelet so that it said that instead of emerald, because I was a diamond now, like, you gonna know it. So it just comes down to that decision. You've got to have that kind of intensity, that kind of burning in your soul that, like, I can't miss this. I can't not do this. And I think what that comes with getting really crystal clear on what that goal means. You know, what does Ruby mean? Ruby's not just a rank. Like, what does it mean? What does that $500 a month mean? Like, what does diamond mean? You know, it's nice to go diamond, but what are you going to do to the penny with that first diamond check? Like, you got to get that dang specific with what that's going to do for your life. And then that's when the fire is going to come in, because you start realizing, like, dang, I could do this thing. Like, dang, like, I'm pushing triple, and I'm like, I'm bound and determined my first triple check is going to be $10,000. So I know that's not average triple, but I'm not an average person. So we're going to have a $10,000 check, my first triple check. Just mark my word when it happens. And so I got to sit down, and I sat down the other day, and I was like, what could I do with $10,000? Pay my bills. Okay. So say I got $5,000 left. It's not accurate, but that's an easy number. But what am I going to do with that $5,000? Okay, I'm going to take $2,000 and pay it on debt. Okay, I have $3,000 left. What am I going to do with that? My husband really wants, you know, to renew his medical with his flight stuff. That's $150. Okay, what am I going to do with what's left? And got so specific and wrote it down. Now that triple has value to me. Before it was a rank. Before it was this elusive idea. Now it has value, because I know to the sense, to the every aspect of it, how that's going to change my life. So I think that's the biggest thing. Also, bring your team in. Like, promotions, like, you can do it on your own, but coming from someone who's done it, it's not fun. So bring your team in. Every promotion is going to affect someone else. So if you're going emerald, you should be reaching out to those 2 people in the ruby spots. Like, oh my gosh, I am feeling this month. I really am proud of you. I'm proud of how you've shown up. And I want you to be a ruby leader on this team. Are you in? If they're out, then, like, you got to just accept it and move on. But if they're in, you now are working with them. You are talking with them. You are sharing with them. You're hopping on Zooms with them. If you're going diamond, like, girl, I want you to be my emerald. I think you deserve, and I think you're going to be an awesome emerald leader. Like, I want you in this position. Are you in? And then you're working with them, and they're working with their rubies. And the more people you bring into a promotion, the easier it's going to be, and the more fun it's going to be. And you just got to bring out all the stops. Like, you got to get creative, and you got to do whatever the frick it takes. Like, perk points, their message. Declines are messaged every day, sometimes 2 times a day once they decline. Like, we're asking for favors. If there's a box and you're getting close and it's close to volume, you're messaging every customer and distributor that can affect that box. Dude, will you place a one-time order? I'll send you a wrap. Will you place a one-time order? I'll send you a $5 start, or I'll send you a Starbucks gift card. Like, will you place a one-time order? You're pulling out all the stops. You're watching constant training. You're doing constant personal development. You're staying positive. You're keeping focused, and you're going to pull out, like I said, you're pulling it all out. You're doing everything, and you're doing everything to the max. I say this to my team all of the time. Massive action produces massive result. If you're not getting massive result, you need to go 10x what you're doing, because you're not doing the massive action. I think that's the gist of it.
So perfect. You're like, throw my hands up in the air. I did it. But okay, so I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this question. But what do you wish you would have done more of or done sooner?
Definitely personal development and understanding that a 6 list, a non-negotiable 6 list, like means it's non-negotiable. Like non-negotiable means that you do it no matter what. And if I would have done my 6 list no matter what every day, oh my gosh, I'd be so much farther. But we tend to make excuses and we're like, no, I don't want to feel like doing this. Well, it sucks. Like it's non-negotiable. That means you do it every day. Think about it this way. Your 6 list is how you feed your business. You have to feed your business because your business feeds your kids. So feeding your business is the same priority as feeding your children. So if you're not doing your 6 list, if you're not feeding your business, that's the same as saying like, sorry, boo, I know you're hungry, but go to bed. I'm not giving you dinner. Like you're going to get defects called. You don't want defects called in your business either. Like you got to be doing that 6 list regardless. And you got to be doing personal development like it's your freaking oxygen.
Yes. So I think more question. Okay, yeah. So, and it's kind of a lot, so you can break it down however you want to, but what would you say to someone who is new, someone who's been in for a few months, and someone who's been in for maybe a few years, maybe they're a leader or they're working to be, all of them?
First and foremost, like if you're new, your sole focus is you. You need to stay in your lane. You need to, if there's people you see in this business who are rocking faster than you and they make you feel some sort of way that is not positive, you go and follow them. Like that's first and foremost. You are your priority. Why'd you join? You joined for your kids? Okay, your kids are your priority and what you're doing for them is your priority. Not Sally Q who joined 2 days after you and was already Ruby. So you got to take those things out of your vision. You know, put on your like goggles. So you know how horses, like they lead the carriages? And you know they have those like little blinder things on? They have those because if they don't and the horse beside them pulls a little bit more, they are going to then initially do what the other one does. So they put those blinders so they stay in their lane and they do their job as amazing as they can because that's all you have to do. So when you're new, you just need to focus on you. Focus on doing the things you know what to do. If you don't, go to your sponsor, go to your upline because that's what they're there for. Like, remember when you're new, you're not alone. You just joined a family. We're not even a team. We're a family. And you just got inducted into this awesome family. Take advantage of it. If you feel alone in this business, it's your fault. Like, I'm sorry, but it is because you're not alone. You have 1,000,002 people who are here wishing for you, praying for you. Like, you just have to capitalize on that. You have to reach out. And again, if you're new, be okay. If nothing else, make sure you hear this because it's important. You have to be ignorance on fire. Do not be knowledge on ice. That's one of my favorite little sayings. Ignorance on fire, not knowledge on ice. You don't have to have the answers. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to read all the documents. You have to do the work because learning is not going to pay your bills. Action is. I'm going to tell you a fun story here. I joined and like started the business. My husband started the reading, but I sold like 3 or 4 customers Thermofite X, and I honestly thought it was coffee. And so I told them they were getting the coffee, but it was actually Thermofite X because I did not even read about the products, but I was so on fire, like, you're going to buy this because it's going to change your life. And they bought it anyway. And I was like, and then I made up excuses of why that actually wasn't the product. And it was cool. You know, they were fine. They lived and they were happy. It was cool because I went with it. But you don't got to know everything. You just got to do. The longer you take to learn, the longer you take to process, the slower start you're going to have. You just want to jump and go. For those of you that stayed in or been in a few months, again, put those blinders on. This is the most vulnerable period for like comparison to creep in because you have experience. I've got a really close friend in this business who's been in has been in 4 years at this point and like just went diamond. I went diamond in 6 months and she was sitting beside me when my e-suite updated to diamond and it almost crushed her. because she was so focused on the fact I was 6 months in and went diamond, and she was almost 4 years and had not hit it. But guys, she's diamond, and she's making diamond pay. And who cares that it took her 4 years because she got there? If you promoted once a year, like, is that so bad? Think of that. You know, you go emerald or you go executive this year, $200 from your cell phone. You know, ruby, emerald, diamond, double, triple, prez. And then 8 years from now, you're making $33,000 a month. Like, is that a bad thing? Tell me any business or job out there that in 8 years will have given you a raise to the point you make $33,000 a month. I'll wait, because there's not one. So even if it's taking you that long, just focus on you. The only way, there is only one way to fail at this business. There's only one way to not be successful, and that's to give up. Because guys, I don't understand how people don't understand this. This blows my mind. But if you don't quit, if you don't stop, like, you go forward. Well, I know it's crazy, but if you don't stop, you go forward. If you don't quit, you will promote. If you don't stop working, you will go. It may not be your timing, but guys, guess what? God knows way better than we do. If I would have went diamond when I was pushing so hard in November, it would have crumbled. I was not a leader. I was someone pushing. Guys, there's a big difference between an emerald and an emerald leader. A diamond leader. And I was definitely not a leader. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing. I had to grow into a leader, and God knew that. We also, the diamond bonus was nice then, but the diamond bonus they announced at conference was nicer, and that's the one I got. God knows. So you just got to trust that. And you've got to trust that as long as you are giving this business your all, that you are putting in the work, He is going to be faithful. He is going to bless the work of your hands in the most amazing way and abundance in His timing. And you've got to trust that. You've been in. You know how it goes. You have experience. You know what to do. If you're not getting the results you want, go out, 10x what you're doing, and make it happen. Because it will happen for you. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep looking forward. And for those of you guys who have been in for a while, you guys, if you've promoted, awesome. If you haven't, everything I just said is for you still. But if you have promoted at all, this is an amazing point in time, and it's an easy point in time, though, to fall apart. Once you've been in for a while, it's so easy. I think that's the easiest point to give up almost. Or to lose and to fall back, because what are you doing now? Why are you still doing this? You're making $30,000 a month. You're making $20,000 a month. You're making $5,000 a month from your cell phone. What more is there? Like, you're doing amazing. What else is there? Your why you joined now doesn't apply. You joined to make ends meet. Cool. Well, you're past that. Now, why are you here? And it's so easy to get lost in that. It's so easy to run from something. Well, once you escape, now what? And so we got to figure out why we're still here. We got to figure out what we want now. I joined because I wanted to break the chains of poverty on my family. Now I'm doing this because I know I can tell other people how to do that. I know I can take a single mom who cries herself to sleep every night and show her that she has worth and value and how she can change her life for her and her family. I know that I can save marriages who are constantly fighting about finances because I can be the difference maker who shows up and shows them there's another way. I can be that person who comes to you when you're at the end of your rope, when all the debt collectors are calling. You want to end it all, and I can be the one that comes to you and shows you you have value. You can change your life. I can do that now. I've done it. I can tell you exactly how to get there. That's what I do now. That's why I'm here now. And it's so important to grow that. It's so important to make sure you stay connected with what your purpose is. This business gives you so much value, but you have to see that. If you don't look, you're not going to see. What you look at is what you see. So if you want value, if you want continue your promotions, you've got to see where you can have the impact. You've got to see where the lives are that you are meant to change. And that, once you've been in a while, that's going to be the driving force that takes you from average to great to like a freaking world changer. And that's where we all want to be.
Yes, I'm like, I swear my neck is gonna hurt because I just been over here like, yeah, everything that you're saying, I'm like, this is gold. I feel like this is what so many people needed to hear. So I thank you so, so much for hopping on with us and for sharing with us and just like pumping everybody up and giving us the fire. So let me pause or stop recording.